All right, guys, this is Shanu again with InnoKinetic. Welcome back to our channel. 2 weeks ago, I had the pleasure of visiting Scotland. You know, I've been all over the UK, England, I should say, Ireland. I've even been in the Welsh countryside, but had never been to Scotland. So took a little trip with my family, my wife and kids, and we went to Scotland. And I managed to make a little pilgrimage down to the fair village of Duns to visit the Jimmy Clark Museum, which I will tell you, for any motorsports fan, is a must-see. It's a very small museum, but very well done. So Jimmy Clark, for those of you who may not be familiar with the name, was the first Formula One champion from Scotland, and revered to this day as one of the absolute greatest racers of all time. This man won a Formula One championship in 1963, and then also in 1965, and in that same year, in 65, he also took the Indy 500 championship, or win. And so anyhow, amazing guy. In fact, I think the only one to ever have won an F1 race and Indy 500 in the same year. So very cool guy. The museum itself, basically small as I mentioned, but had a small car display, had a beautiful trophy room, but then also wonderful films and photography displaying his 11-year motorsports career. So I shot some video while I was there and also took some photos, so enjoy them as they run. Some interesting things. In 1960, Jim Clark joined Team Lotus. You know, that was really a fantastic partnership with Colin Chapman. They had about an 8-year run career together, racing internationally. And of course, as I mentioned before, winning a Formula One championship in 63 and 65. One of the cool cars on display in the museum was a Lotus 25, which was the car that the Team Lotus used, and they took from 1963 onwards, and where they took the initial championship. In fact, in 1963, Jimmy won 7 of the 10 Formula One races. So, in addition to the museum, there's actually in the center of Duns, in the village of Duns, is a little cafe, the Jimmy Clark Cafe, and we managed to go in there and stop in for a little coffee and a little bite to eat, and I would highly recommend you reserve a bit of time to go check that out. You know, Jimmy Clark's probably greatest legacy, sadly he died in 1968 in a Formula 2 crash, but his greatest legacy is the advent of bringing safety to Formula One and really pushing, his friends, his fans, his fellow racers, Jackie Stewart in particular, really pushed for the advent of safety measures in Formula One, which in those days was an absolute blood sport. Nowadays, you can see some of these horrific crashes that they go through, and they're able to survive. So that was a wonderful museum that I would highly recommend again to all of you. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time.